It's time for trigger warning.
Trigger warning! Fuck your feelings, you little snowflake! Triggerwarning.tv.
How dare you!
Hello and welcome to another trigger warning. We're back. I'm Aiden. That's Graham. How are you doing, Pickle?
I'm all right, Aiden. I don't know why I'm looking at you. I can do the whole show like that. I'm all right, Aiden, sir. Fine. Everything's fine.
Glad to hear it. I'm very
No,
glad
I'm
to hear it.
Kind of hype. She chose me to do story time tonight, and she doesn't usually pick me, so I'm a very happy boy. Very happy.
I'm very glad to hear it. Well, a couple of things to mention about trigger warning first. Trigger warning. Daz put up a great interview with the representative on Earth of the residents. We've even made artwork for it. Do go and read that. It's on the site. It's very good. It's part of the glacial sort of development of trigger warning, where we're trying to get more into having articles, commentary, reviews, interviews with people in, well, wherever we can get them, as long as they're outside the mainstream, as long as they're a bit different, unusual, quirky, whatever, along with the live shows and working on the radio station. There's lots to do, including a rebrand.
Yeah, you know when you texted me when you wrote ransom letters, I was looking up ransom typeface because I thought you meant the TW. It was a very specific typeface, and then it occurred to me, no, he just means like a ransom letter, doesn't he? He's just talking about a fucking ransom letter. It's not a typeface.
Getting rid of the ransom notes. So,
but then all you got back 5 minutes later after all the stress was, yeah, sure, that sounds great. Yeah. But really, it was me going, oh god.
I can't do this right now, I think was what I got, wasn't it? Can't do this right now.
Yeah. I've been getting up to shit that'd make if you're angry about Dominic Cummings, then oh my god, get ready to crucify my ass, mate. I've been all over it.
Well, we got lots more coming article-wise, another couple of interviews. I've got to nail one down with Jonathan Southcott, film producer. Upcoming articles, I guess we've got that one, which is something Graham and I discussed, and then one that's possibly going to annoy a couple of people. There we go. So they're upcoming over the next few days. They'll start coming out. You know, one's been huge fun to write, though. It really has.
It makes me. I really struggle having Alex Jones and David Icke together, because even though they're both, you know, by my shit, I've got such a warm spot in my heart for Alex Jones. I love him.
The very different approaches to a very similar thing. And Brian Rose is different again. You know, he's the epitome of a entrepreneur. You know, he really, really is. It's amazing what he's done. I mean, he's raised over $1 million for a freedom platform that nobody knows what it is.
We've been talking about freedom for years, and nobody knows what this is. What are we doing wrong?
Not only has he raised $1 million, he wants $250,000 a month to run it. You could run a pretty fucking big site for $250,000 a month.
Mate, I was happy.
I know.
15 Prime subs. I was like, ooh, we got 15 subscribers on Twitch.
But that'll be in the article anyway. So we got all that coming, like I say, more interviews, more cool stuff, just generally cool bits and pieces. Aphid Lip. Yeah, except I've been doing that for about fucking 20 years. So I've been using Photoshop since it came on a floppy disk with 10 other programs. I'm not an artist. I'm just manipulate.
Every single person that's good at Photoshop watch tutorials of Photoshop on YouTube, though. That isn't that exactly like, right, I want to do this thing. Shall I sit here and just pull it out my ass, or shall I go to like
the most important thing I get off the tutorials is shortcuts.
Exactly, exactly.
Ways of saving me hours and hours and hours. And also just There's a great channel where they teach you how to do, professional touch-ups. And I don't do that. But I really wanted to know how they did it. You know what I'm like. I'll spend hours working on something I'll never use just to see how it's done. So...
yeah, that guy, dude, I don't know. I know very, very little about coding. Really basic, but I'm not very good at it. I can't do it. But I've been watching a guy build an AI that does that. That calls phone scammers. That Kit Boga guy, because normally he phones him, and he's like, "Wouldn't it be ace if I could just turn on an AI?" And I've been watching because he shows the full code as he's doing it, and it's fascinating. I love it. He'll usually do it on a Sunday night, and I'll put it on. It's like around midnight or whatever. I'm just sat there like, yes, and then he tries it out live with an actual, Indian phone scammer. It's fucking brilliant. Yeah, I absolutely do. That's good, man. Don't shame people for YouTube. That's good. YouTube
tutorials are great, but I always end up, every time I use YouTube, I'll go on it like, right, how do I make a brush? I wanted to learn how to make the brushes that change as you use them. Great. You learn how to do that, but then you fall down a rabbit hole of shit you weren't actually wanting to watch. And that's it for the next 2 hours. You're there. You're just there. But also, I'm not an artist. I can't sit and draw these things. I just manipulate shit. So, take it for what it is. I'm definitely no artist, nor do I claim to be.
Have you ever got into that hole with the VFX artists react? YouTube's pushing them quite a lot. You see them like the 3 lads on a couch, and they're good. You can tell they've built this like indie effects studio up that obviously works on big movies now and everything. And they go through films and pick out how things were done, and they get people in that worked on it and stuff. It's really, really good. Like very, very niche. But if you watch anything like that long enough, YouTube will start pushing them onto you because they're very YouTube friendly.
I've got to be honest, when it comes to tutorials, though, I prefer written ones. So I can't be doing pausing videos, and it drives me insane. I like a nice written tutorial. Yeah. That's how I learned After Effects. And
no, I get that. It's a fucking nightmare doing the pause thing, especially sitting through the 2 minutes of, hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining us.
It's either too slow or too fast.
Yeah,
I'm an old man now. I like a comfortable speed, but if it's too slow, I get bored.
When it suits you, aren't you? Oh, there you go, Alex. Yeah. Thanks for that. Please do. Please go and sub on our Twitch Prime. We do appreciate it. Obviously, YouTube's taken away our monies now, and we're in that limbo that everyone's in now where it just goes, we'll get back to you. And we're not a big channel, so they're not going to. But God bless Amazon.
Did you see who was on before? I don't know if she's still here.
Yeah. I don't know if she is. She might have just
done one. But
that's good. People been calling
people.
Her. Oh, yes.
American Rebellion channel. Hello. That's life, but not as we know it. Dippy, Derek, Cassius Claymore. Of course, the lovely Lacey. Biscuit Vapes tells us he's still alive. Got Matt Berry, such as you have Mr. Kill, C1, Alan Reeder, Nick Harrison. Hello, mate. Aphid Lip, Linda, G. Badamosi, ish. Greg Topple, Cup of Tea, Atomic Waster, and Happy Dog, of course, Fat Belly, and more and more and more. And if I've missed you, I'm terribly, terribly, terribly sorry. I should be whipped as a horse thief.
I tell you what.
No angry Natalie tonight.
No. But yeah, he told me about that. According to Streamlabs, lovely Lacey only subscribed 2 days ago. 2 days ago, Aiden. Where's she been?
I don't know.
I'm outraged. Busy. Very busy. Actually, yeah, I've got no. That's literally the only answer I need. And I go, yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
I have no idea about her life, so I'm going to assume busy. Yes, Nat was very drunk on the Saturday show. Natalie was aggressively drunk. It was fantastic.
You could see the beginnings of it before I went. Yeah, it was all there. Good. Well, it has to happen. I'm glad it wasn't me this time. Yeah, I just passed out. I was talking for like 5 minutes with my mic muted. Just sat there.
It was good, and that, I mean, we went on for a long time.
Really?
I think it was another 5 or 6 hour stream.
I thought it was wrapping up. when I was there. When I was,
I only had a couple of beers, and I went on the coffee and just watched everybody else. You know, and enjoyed myself. The angriest she got was when she was just railing on Arminius. I think it was Arminius. I can't remember, but I went off and left them for a bit.
I quite like that though. Sometimes on a Saturday, I quite like when the room's just full of triggerists, and I'm down here. I mean, people can't see our screen, but we're still here. You just can't see us, and but we can see everything and everyone, and just sat here, just watching it all unfold, and it's nice sometimes.
Well, that's what I did for a while on Saturday. I sort of left for a bit when I made a drink, sat and watched for a while, let other people talk. And then what you do is you watch, and as the viewing numbers decrease, you get back in and try and get them back up.
So what's caught your eye anyway this week, man?
Mostly work, but obviously Dominic Cummings. And there is an article on Trigger Warning from Barry. About how Dominic Cummings is more punk than you.
Yeah,
that means
Trigger Warning TV, yeah.
But yeah, that caught my eye because, I mean, it's bollocks. It's absolute all the shit he's come out with. I wasn't sure if my eyes were up to it to drive all the way to London, so I did a 60-mile test drive with my family. That's what I do if I think I've got an eye problem.
That's the meme now, isn't it? That's the meme because if he dares say it's my wife's birthday, so we went and drove to the cliff or whatever the fuck it was. If he dares say that, it'll just be like pure rage and terror and everything. But I'm generally just sick to fucking death of it.
Well, wasn't Jeremy Corbyn still going into Parliament when we knew it wasn't good for old people to be out and about?
Yeah.
Against advice.
I know. I really.
But it's a Tory, so it's just go to town time, isn't it? It's just and also Dominic Cummings, he's a very hard man to like. There's no two ways about that.
Well, he's Mr. Brexit as well, isn't he? And as far as they're concerned, he's the evil genius behind phrases like "get Brexit done," and the thought of it's like you said things that people liked, and he's supposedly behind that whole, Boris saying during the election, Boris is like, it's oven ready, just throw it in 3 minutes and all that, to do with the deal and stuff, and he was mocked for that oven ready stuff, but it actually really cut through, and Dominic Cummings is apparently the man behind that. So he's hated. He's fucking hated.
Look at Alistair Campbell. There was a man that for some reason is loved now because he's anti-Brexit, but he was very much cut from the same cloth. Very much. He's the one that sold us the war on Iraq and all the other things. He sold us everything as a good idea. So there's one with every government. The only one that didn't possibly have one was Theresa May. She was bad on her own.
She really needed one as well. She really needed a whisperer. I mean, my old opinion of Theresa May. Do you remember when she said a goodbye speech, right? And she, it's essentially like, I've done my best, I'm sorry, blah, 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 I'm going. When she said the country that I love and she broke, I actually had loads of sympathy for her because I thought, you really, she was obviously trying to do it right. Yeah. She just couldn't, you know what I mean? But the way she broke there, I was like, my heart broke a little bit. I was like, bless you. It was never going to work, but bless you for trying.
Well, it perhaps could have worked if she just not fucked about trying to appease the wrong people.
Yeah, Olan's here saying don't talk about it anymore. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. It's like I can't go on Twitter now. I can't.
No, we're not going to get into the ins and outs of that side of it.
No,
with whatever you think of him, he did what he did, and end of. I'm more interested not in his actions because in and of themselves they came to nothing. That's only a mountain if you really want to make it into a mountain. It's the reaction to it that I find fascinating, particularly the press, who are Linda has said there, made me laugh when the journalists were questioning him on the doorstep and he started giving a shit about social distancing. To be fair, he didn't break any social distancing rules as far as we know.
No. And dude,
and also, how can they go and hang him for that when they're clumping together in groups of 40 viciously sweating journalists?
Well, we're talking about non-essential travel. What about just like driving a TV outside his house and sitting there to just spew abuse on loudspeakers at him? It's just like, what the fuck,
It's
man?
the other
Like,
things the press have done that a lot of people haven't picked up on as much. Like I said, Jeremy Corbyn did his thing, but he's done it. And what they've done, they've not gone, why did he break the rules? Now, what the TV news have done, this is what I find objectionable because it's a manipulative tool, regardless of who the subject is. They didn't say these were the rules as we understood them. He did this. There is the news. The sort of thing that Alistair Stewart used to like doing. No, they said that, and they said, let's talk to someone who lost a family member to COVID-19.
yeah.
And they bring all these grieving relatives out who are obviously going to be furious. It wouldn't matter if it was the Pope of fucking Rome. And it's just a manipulative tool because we don't have a news media anymore. We have an opinion-based media. Now, all the old guard are dying away, and it's on its uppers. And this is what they're doing. And you notice it more and more and more. Why are they using grieving families to be a fucking politician? Why do we expect any different from politicians?
Yeah.
Just that he got caught.
Almost everyone in this country is connected to someone who's suffered or there's you're gonna find someone with a bad story connected to all this. Of course you are. You can't lock people in their houses for 2 to 3 months and just expect, but it's not relevant. It's not fucking relevant. It really isn't. And here's the thing. And again, with this fucking press thing where they're like, I don't know if you watched the questions on the thing, but it's like, are you going to apologize for how you made people feel? And it's like, hold the fuck up here. Why does this happen? Every single news story, every single scandal, it's the papers that do it. It's the news that wheels, crying person after everyone that gets people's emotions up. It's the papers themselves that drum this up and then demand that you apologize for doing it. And it's like, hold the fuck up, man. This is a symbiotic thing here. This isn't like, they're like dealers, aren't they? They're dealing you the drug and then demanding the government gives you the cure or some bullshit like that. I love that. Go to Trigger Warning TV, share it, piss people off.
I was trying to set up a new server today.
Yeah, what for?
Having murders. Just something. It's a bit faster. Might save a couple of quid a month as well. Probably not much, but saving fuck all. Well, I can't do it. That's certainly true. But yeah, I think what fascinates me is most of these occasions when the act itself isn't terribly interesting, and it's not. I don't really fucking care that he drove to a castle. I'm just not interested. People have been breaking it left, right, and centre the whole time. Yeah. It's the reaction. It's the, right, now we've got this bastard.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that our media is doing that, and yet we people don't, I suppose, of that condition now to never say, why have you got a family from fucking Falkirk to talk about Dominic Cummings? My father died of COVID-19. What he did is disgusting, but what did he do? He took his family somewhere. But we don't know that he mixed with anybody else. I mean, it's against the rules, but how is that related to someone's family dying from it?
Yeah, no, I know. I completely agree. The Sky News as well actually put out a video of a reporter outside his mum's house, just pressing the buzzer. And it's like, oh, we're just doxing his mum now, are we? Like, how is that relevant? And she said, no, I don't want to talk. I mean, she's already given statements to, like, I think New Statesman or Spectator is one of them. She's already given a statement. So there's something there.
Well, I know that
there's no need to go and go
his
on.
dad said something about, the way you're acting. He's got a kid there. Should he have to drag his child through this clump of people outside his house? And he's quite right. But we don't mind because Dominic's a bastard.
Yeah. Dude, if
I got
coronavirus and all that shite was outside my door 24/7 and I had a house in the country I could go to, I would have been there in a shot. I wouldn't have fucking hidden it. I would have told. I would just be honest. I mean, I actually think it would have gone better for him if he'd disappeared like that. Because the Queen vanished, didn't she? Nobody was like freaking out about the Queen moving. There was no like, how dare you, you bitch? You know, like fucking outside the royal palaces, screaming murder at her, and you know, it's just insane to me, man. There was something in the chat about the knock-on effect, but I suspect that it was failing anyway. You know, do you know what I mean? I think lockdown's about to break. I saw a friend of mine, Jordan. You remember Jordan? He did the game face one.
Yeah.
He posted a picture from the Northern Quarter in Manchester, and it's hammered. People are having a party, you know, around the back of the old bus station where there's all those low walls and things where you can sort of sit down and gather in the alleys and all that. Fucking rammed it is. And it's like, why isn't no one doing anything about this? And I suspect the police and Manchester City Council aren't doing anything about it because they know people are at the point where they need to fucking be outside and they need to let off steam and they need to communicate, because it's either let people party like that or we just get fucking riots. You know,
I'm a little more conspiratorial about this, but not in a negative sense. I think it's more a case of, right, look, we've ridden out the first wave, let people go and get it. Just let them go and get it.
Yeah, 100%. They need to go get it. They really do at this point. We can't do this forever. I fucking want it. If I've not already had it, I want it.
I fucking know. You'll be off for a month, you.
Yeah. Well, I think I might. I think I might have been, but I don't know. It's hard to say, isn't it? But I'm certainly mixing now. I mean, dude, I went to the park. It's so funny. The kids' areas, you know, the little slides and swings, they're still fenced off and padlocked, and it's so insane because it's rammed all around them. It's like this weird spot where, and like the ice cream man's not allowed there, obviously, even though there's literally thousands of kids in the sun just going like that, and I'm just there like, this is insane, man. Just let the ice cream man come. But you know what? I've been so happy going through the park because I'm just thinking all these people are out healthy, fucking breathing. I'm just
waiting for Junior's friends' parents to release the children so he can start playing out with his mates again, you know, because he needs to do that desperately.
Yeah. Well, you know my situation. I'm on a group chat with all the mums from my daughter's class. I'm just slowly trying to break them. Just slowly. I think, you know, school doesn't open on June 1st, does it? But no. It's from June 1st. Mine's actually later in the month because they're just worried about preparations and all that. But as of June 1st, I'm just going to be posting in that group chat every day the time and where I am in the park. I'm here, just so you know. We can have meetings of up to 10 now, and I know half of them are scared anyway. So just fucking get down here and get your kids to wipe this snot all over my kid.
Graham doesn't work for me.
What are you on about? I don't work. He furloughs me at the end of every show.
I'll let you know what I'm doing.
Oh, thank you, Nat. Thank you. So we don't get PayPal notifications live. We are going to sort that out though, because it's a really good super chat. But I do appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna take you at your word and give you a cock. There you go. But if anyone does want to do it and they want us to see, you can Streamlabs us, or you can drop us bits on Twitch. So you can either sub on Twitch, or there's a little thing at the bottom there, like a little diamond. You can hit that and you can do bits, which is just a way of donating. It's a bit weird the first time you do it, but it's fine after that.
The cock was deserved.
It was. Yeah, the mayor of Doncaster has told schools not to open yet. I would love to see, because Berry's the same at the moment, isn't it? And I would love to see the actual scientific evidence they're using, because 3 deaths under 15 is enough for me. Fucking get him in. Get him in. And yeah, we're going to have more cases.
Yeah,
go on.
I think there's a few things to consider. Number one, what we're doing, we're being frightfully ignorant of people who might be vulnerable but have kids. And, well, let's say you're someone who is incredibly vulnerable to this. You can't be exposed to this. And it's sort of saying, well, you can't catch it off kids. Nobody fucking knows that.
Yeah, well, don't send your kid in then. You know, trust that individual to make that decision.
Yeah, but no one at this point is allowing that. Now, this is what I'm coming to before you get all fucking militant.
What?
I had a message from the headmistress at my son's school. Now, years 1 and 6 are going in.
Yes.
She said, now, I'm a stickler for attendance, and they are. It's unreal. But if any parent is not comfortable, we will not be seeking any action if you decide to keep your child back for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That's the sort of reasoned and sensible approach that I believe, because there are people who can't, they're just not able to. There's a lady across the road from me who's had a chemotherapy paused during all this. She can't risk that shit getting in her house because it's too risky. And if she sends her kids in, I don't know, because like I say, I've read a woman from the Telegraph saying you can't be giving it by children. But somebody's got to pick your kids up from school. So I understand that, while all these people, and not so much you, but people are going, get everyone back, get it all back to normal. Yeah, but at the same time, it's dead easy to go, well, some people will die, until you start thinking of the faces.
Yeah, but that's not the argument, though. The argument is for exactly what we're getting now. Nobody's saying open the schools and force kids in. We're saying let those of us that want to put our kids back in school choose to do that. I mean, we've already got the most, like, the key workers kids are already in there. So all the doctors and nurses kids have been in school this whole time, and there hasn't been an outbreak. There hasn't been a thing in terms of risk. That's the schools have been open this whole time. They've not closed.
The only thing I'm concerned about is I've seen the measures that they put in place. What a weird experience for the children this is going to be. They're not allowed to play together. They have to stay separate. And it's like, well, he might as well be sat at home on his fucking Xbox then. Because I'm not sending him into school just to learn. He's there to learn about a lot of things that don't come out of books.
Yeah. Dude, if she gets a week or two into it and she's just surrounded by plastic and it's affecting her, I'll just bring her out again.
Well, of course, again, I'm not talking about you. I know you're a good dad. We're talking generalities here, not stuff like. I mean, I know you're sending her back because of your own convenience, so you can have a wank during the day. I understand.
Oh, I miss that, Aidan. I miss that so much. But no, I mean, here's the thing. When I do see those measures, it does seem a little bit odd to me because I then go to the park and all those classes are meeting still. All those kids are all meeting and mingling.
Yeah,
and
but
the older ones, the teenagers.
If that happens at the park,
yeah,
it's your problem. If it happens in school, it's the school's problem.
Yeah.
And given what people are like these days, I get it. I get it. No one wants to say, sent my kid to that school. Now my nana's dead. No school wants that. No council
they
wants
don't.
that.
They don't.
So,
but it's weird that we're living in a thing where the messaging at the moment is, because I've been getting all these emails about how they're preparing it and the cleaning regimen and all that, and then it's like, well, it flies in the face of what's going to be going on all around it. In terms of how much people are mingling and mixing and talking, especially for the older kids. I mean, I think the younger kids like mine, it's easier to keep them away. But the 14, 15-year-olds, the thought that we need to then socially distance them whilst they're in school is insane. And it's kind of
fucking socially distance the little bastards. Full stop. That's when they turn into proper arseholes. Should lock them in the fucking room and be done with it. But that's just my opinion.
Oh, sounds like you've had a long day with yours.
No, I just remember what I was like at that age. Junior's, I've got to admit, Junior's been really good overall. I think because, with all the stuff that was going on with the mother-in-law, and, I've had to work so fucking hard just to try and keep, shit tight. He's not had as much homeschooling as his other friends, but he's had lots of contact with us and lots of hanging out time and, lots of time on his consoles with his mates and lots of watching movies together. So he's doing good. He's good. It's me that's coming fucking undone.
Yeah, I know, man. Well, I'm better now because it was mainly, if she's all right, I'm all right. So seeing her growing up far too quickly and being very serious and being very upset on the nighttime was fucking me up, was really, really fucking me up. She's bored of Animal Crossing. She's not played Roblox for weeks, for more than like she could sit on it for an hour. I had to take her off it. Now she's 5 minutes and I look over and she's turning the computer off herself, actually turning it fully off.
Just read something there, mate.
Go on.
The American Rebellion channel, this is all horseshit. I had a similar conversation with Richie Allen. I think the whole COVID-19 thing, I imagine that's what I'm talking about. But here's my take on it. It might be. But if I get ill, we could be in serious trouble financially. I've got 2 parents in their 80s, one of whom has kidney failure. Very susceptible. A flu could fucking kill them, let alone COVID-19. So, it might be all horse shit, but I'm not going to gamble them because you say it's all horse shit. I can play games with my life, but if I play games with my life, I'm fucking with everybody else's. So whilst I don't wear masks and wrap myself in fucking duct tape, except at the weekends, but that's a different thing, I'm cautious. But then again, I was all for social I know everyone says this, but it's true. I was for social distancing before we had COVID-19. I don't like people anywhere fucking near me at the best of times. So I'm gonna go with caution where my family's concerned. It's that's my problem. Everyone that's telling me it's horseshit isn't a fucking scientist, So you shouldn't listen to them scientists. So I should listen to the man on the internet, David fucking Icke. That's the same guy that said don't have chemotherapy. The same guy that fucking stood behind a guy who said, well, cancer, you can cure that with baking soda. I'm not taking health advice from a man that thinks telephone masts give you fucking nanobots or some shit. Fuck off. So that's the way I see it. You might be right. You might be wrong. As a thinking exercise, it's great, but when it comes to gambling with my parents' lives and my family's stability, I'm not so keen.
I think, though, we need to be at the point, though, where you can make that decision for yourself and he can make that decision for himself. And at the moment,
100%.
At the moment, especially in America, because some parts of America are basically untouched by this, and they're still being forced to lock down. And it's like we've got something because we're quite a tight, dense country population wise. So it did rip right through us, And I think there's a thing there, but there's parts of America that are locked down to fuck, and for some reason, Walmart's allowed to keep trading, but the little shop isn't allowed to open. And it's
nonsense. But at the same time, I do know 2 people that have died from it. One with no underlying causes. It fucking killed him. So I don't know. I do know. But the problem is, if you say everyone can choose what they want, I can get the dilemma. We know we've got to open up, but if we just took the brakes off all at once, like this is bollocks, everyone go at it. What if? And it's just a what if. Just thinking, what if we said, no, it's all horseshit? American Rebellion says it's horseshit. I think it's horseshit. We take the brakes off and 100,000 people fucking get killed by it. What do we do? So I get the dilemma. I really do. But I do think there's got to come a point where it's going to be, right, if you're vulnerable, we'll look after you. Everyone else, we're going to have to take a punt at this one, guys. We're going to have to take a punt because you can't stay inside forever. We can't furlough you forever. Which is weird because I was talking to Stephen about, the prospect of universal basic income and how it would work and how it would be paid for. We're going to get him on. But it's because what he's done, he's gone away and given it some serious thought.
I'd like to hear that. Yeah.
Just you guys know, Stephen has a very successful accounting company. He came up the hard way, though. He didn't come up silver spoon. He worked, he had businesses, he failed, he succeeded, he failed. He went into accounting himself. He knows business, he understands economics very, very well. So he's been looking into how UBI, universal basic income, could work. And it's eminently more affordable than furloughing people at the moment. But I'm really looking forward to getting him on to talk about it. Maybe we'll try and do it this week if we can, or certainly next week at the worst.
I'd really, really like to get him on. I'd love to hear his perspective on it, especially because he's talking from financial. He understands money. He does actually understand money. He's not just standing there going, "Well, we'll cover the basic costs and blah blah blah." The pure fucking fantasy. Well, look, all right, American Rebellion. Like, here's the thing, though. Like, we could still have social distancing. We could still have awareness. We can still have masks, and things like that. It's sort of badly affected areas. We don't just behave like nothing's happening at all. It is very, very infectious. I just think it should be more on the side of consent rather than what it is at the moment. Did you see they put the fucking congestion charge up in London?
Oh, yes.
It's like, what? Wait, so you don't want people on public transport? People have been dying. But what was it? 9 bus drivers have died.
But Mayor Kant is not a very good mayor. And he says the government forced me. Come on, mate. I know he's had this on the cards for nearly a year. And he has. He's been planning this for a long time. But now he can blame somebody else for it. It's fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. I just seen in there Last Dance. Hello, mate. How you doing? Not seen you for a while. Hope you're well. He says universal basic income equals free ponies. That's the one way of looking at it. It's not the... Unfortunately, it's a very stymied, unusual way of looking at it. But yeah, I think it makes more sense once you've had a chat with Stephen about it, who puts it all in a very... You put it in a very firm financial footing of the benefits to the country, not to the lazy, to the country, to society, and how it would be paid for. So he's taken the ponies idea, ponies and unicorns for everybody, and turned it into, I'm sure not other people have, but it's something I could understand. So I'm really looking forward to having a chat with him about that. I don't think he's a massive proponent for it. I think he believes it'd be a great idea. But
I think there are arguments
for us.
There are arguments for it, and I'd like to hear if his sort of line up with mine, and it could be a fruitful conversation.
His thoughts on it line up with mine about why I think it'd be positive. I'm not going to get into it now, obviously, but there are various reasons, and it's not just free money. That's the least of them. Oddly enough, it's what it represents to a society. And do you know what? No, we'll do this.
Yeah, no. We've done this so many times. I don't want to do it again before we. Let's get him on. Dude, I wanna. Did you see in Leeds though? 200 people at a rave. Did you see that? It got broke up, and they were just this footage of him there, just munted absolutely off the face, just going, "Sharon's over there somewhere," but what's even going on? And the police are just like, "What do we do with this?" And you know what? It made me so fucking happy. It did. At least they're exercising, because that's a big thing, isn't it? Apparently, it's like being healthy, not being obese, and all that. So dancing whilst you're taking drugs that drastically lower your immune system. It's mental to me, though. A woman in America they're threatening to take her kids off her because she opened up her gym, and this isn't like Globo Gym, it's like a little fucking gym on the road there, and it's just and
one thing I noticed.
Go on.
And at the risk of after being on Drone Tech show and having the winding people about no, he was on our show. What am I even saying? You're anti-American. What? Show me on the doll where I touched you, for fuck's sake. But the one thing I've noticed about the land of the free and the home of the brave is when something happens, they don't half go fucking mental with it. It's like, do you remember the Boston bombings?
Mm-mm.
When it fucking martial law.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We can storm through your house. We don't know reason. We've never done that here, and we're fucking assholes. And this lockdown, it just seems so fucking brutal.
Yeah, some states. Some like New York, New Jersey has just been insane, and this whole. Did you see the 2 Karens? There was the old black Karen that was going, "Oh, your dog's not on a lead," but the old black Karen didn't realize he was talking to an Uber Karen, who then phoned the police.
Yes, that was fantastic.
And she was like, "I'm going to tell him you." She was totally
with a face mask around her neck.
Yeah. And then as soon as she got on the phone, she was just hysterical, going, "He's African American, and I fear for my life." And then was just like that. And it was like, "Oh my god, 2 Karens at once!" Fucking hell. Because
she's lost a job, by the way.
Oh, she's lost a job. I believe,
yeah.
instantly doxxed, which is fucking disgraceful, man. Because it's like, dude, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're equivalent. It's two Karens, but that shit was horrific. But is it really like a stupid fucking argument? Is it really worth just completely destroying the entire life for it?
The court of public opinion is all consuming now, and people on Twitter can decide whether you get to live or fucking basically die. And that's how it works now. That's the worst kind of shit. People are now deciding whether you can carry on living if you just say something. I mean, Alex put up a post, didn't he? You know, a 5 a.m. drunken tweet can fuck your life up now. It's despicable. Nat Lynch says more people died of heart disease in Texas in the first 3 months of the pandemic than died solely of COVID in the whole US. Yeah, it's just the numbers on top, isn't it? That's the problem. You know, it's all right saying, well, you know, 30,000 people died of COVID. We have 60,000 people that died of something else. Yeah, now plus a percentage of that 30,000 that probably wouldn't have died. That's the issue. It's just the on tops. And I don't think it was anywhere near as bad as they thought it was going to be. I don't think the lockdown solved a lot of it. But we are where we are. You know, we are where we are. Like I say, COVID killed my mother-in-law. She didn't have COVID-19. They still killed her stone fucking dead. But fucking hell, Graham. Jacob.
What?
You know, is he Jacob? Darth Jacob? The guy is a little bit along the autism spectrum, comes on our show on a Saturday.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He was in full flow on Saturday night. It's like Chris, you know, Chris mentioned about his wife who sadly passed away. Jacob made a fucking joke about it. I had to take him out the room. I just took him out, had a little chat with him backstage. Like, all right, mate, I know you didn't mean it. Because obviously, we didn't talk about it at the time because everyone was drunk. But, you know, autistic people often have a very hard time gauging the emotional responses of other people. But it was just one of those. It was just like, oh, shit. You know, fucking get him out. But he was distraught. He was distraught that he'd upset someone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, you know, he just read it wrong. Because he was just there having the time of his life. We got another very special guy in as well. I've forgotten his name completely. Trigger Warning did subscribe to his YouTube channel, which has 4 videos about Fraggles and Fraggle Rock on there. He was very unusual. We're getting a very diverse crowd.
Yeah.
We're getting a very diverse crowd. We've got real diversity.
Do you know what? That's how I know things are getting back to normal, because the diversity and inclusion people have started aggressively messaging again, like fucking diversity, and it's but they've changed the meaning of diversity now. You know.
Oh yeah, it's not diversity.
No. It's you specifically, and this is like legit according to the narrowing sort of body of text around all this. But you specifically have to subscribe to white supremacist dogma. You have to say that white people are better, and that you know that you're going to lift up black people. There's no, you know. So if you this is the problem, man. Offices and that get this diversity inclusion training, and they don't realize the really fucking gross thing underneath it, this segregational shit that's just under the surface of all this like polite language. And God, I used to hate that shit when I worked for the council. Sit there like, oh,
that's bollocks. That's I mean, yeah, obviously, full-blown racists just don't want them darkies coming here. Yeah, they're fucking, who gives a fuck about those people? But it's things, you know, we discovered that once the weather was nice, we're getting boatloads of their economic migrants. I'm sorry. When people say they're escaping the tyranny of the country they left, or like France?
Yeah, all these boats with, what's his name?
The French Navy. The French Navy were escorting them into English waters, British waters. They were escorting them here. These are not people that have escaped. They don't escape Syria on a fucking boat.
No.
Sail around to get to the UK.
Yeah,
they come through Europe
Spain and
a
all
dozen
that,
countries. But I'm supposed to believe these people that have spent thousands getting here. So those poor people. hang on, fuck you. Yeah, if there was a central place in Europe where they could process migrants, and each country in Europe, not the EU, in Europe, could take it, take people in from war-torn countries. Yeah, I get it, but don't fucking give it me that. I was telling, oh, you're a racist for saying that about the people in that boat. Go fuck those people. Oh, Smoke Steve, of course you are. You're my favorite. I'm only happy if you turn up. My chubby little Kurt Cobain. He's lovely.
The thing about the boat people, though, is that it just goes straight to like they are human beings, and it's like, all right, yeah, but so what do we do then? But the problem is you can't talk to them because, as far as they're concerned, there should be no borders, no prisons, no police. Some of them, no government at all in any way whatsoever, no property, no money. So for you to say maybe it's not great that people are just pouring over. There's no common ground there for you to even have a conversation about it. To them, any criticism and any of like, well, what the fuck is just like fucking racist.
I honestly believe these are families wrench. Well, where are the families? They're just boats full of fucking blokes for the most part. Well, they're escaping to bring the families. I don't understand. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that.
And the problem is, and the reality is, that when you do loosen it, and this is why it's kicked off in Greece recently, when you do loosen it, you develop a network of human traffickers and people smugglers. I can't even remember the stats, but a phenomenal number of women are raped whilst crossing the American border. Like, it's insane. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's just like way higher than the population. Loads of them, and not only that, it costs them thousands just to be allowed to cross that desert. The border guards might not be there, but the fucking gangsters are. And you've got they do a better job of policing the border than the American government do. It's insane.
Linda says about Farage going out.
Go on.
And all he got on Twitter was abuse. I don't believe you. It's like, dude, he made a fucking video. He didn't just tell you something happened. He went out there and filmed it and showed you. No, it's bollocks. I'm not going to believe him. By the way, Chris, I know you said I only took him out the room and then had a wee chat about what I don't think he was aware of what he said. And sometimes you have to tell people that perhaps that's not the appropriate way to approach that. That was all. And because, he was distraught, Chris. But sometimes you have to say people that's just not quite right. I'm all about, freedom of speech is great, but it's a Saturday night. It's not a debate. It's people hanging out. And it's just like, maybe that's not the way. So I don't think he realized that was inappropriate. That's the thing. So just had a quick word and then he came back in.
It's a weird one with the migrants thing though. Like there's a sort of weird like if I met someone that was just like, I got a fucking boat, got over it, got a job and stuff, I'd be happy for him. I think on an individual level, I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. Good for them. But what concerns me more is like, the treatment of Farage, treated like he's just some insane person. It's like, wait. So the Daily Mail reporter, he's okay outside Dominic Cummings' house, filming Led by Donkeys. That's okay for you, is it? That's essential. You'll classify that. But Nigel Farage, I mean, he's not elected at the moment, is he? But he's certainly
about a boat in the middle of the sea.
But he got a visit from the police, didn't he? Get 2 visits. There's the difference there. I wonder if any of these journalists are getting visits from the police. I wonder if Led by Donkeys are. It frustrates me because I'm a huge fucking believer in things being applied as evenly as possible, But
the left are in the ascendancy now. The leftists are in the ascendancy, and they've got the perceived power at the moment, and that's just the way society is. It's horrific. And it's horrific.
I hate
still
to use
blame
this phrase.
social media.
there is a legitimate thing there. I hate to use it, and please don't take this. People watching anyway, don't take the conspiracy side of it. But the deep state is very, very left. The actual civil service and all that. I mean, you did you see that tweet that got put out by, was it the Home Office or something? Said we've got to work with these people,
Yes.
and it got deleted straight away, but not before everyone was like, yes, because and that's what it is, man. You go to schools, you go to councils, you go to government. It is very, very left, and it's there's a certain mindset that's entrenched, and that's it's not working at the moment. You need a healthy different sides. You need it all, man. You need someone like Nigel Farage to be able to go out and discuss these things, and it be treated properly.
We've always said everything's a seesaw, isn't it? Society can't tip one way or the other for too long. It doesn't work. Obviously, being too far to the right doesn't work out terribly well, historically speaking. Being too far to the left doesn't work out too well. We're starting to see a change, like, We Are Fair Cop, with all these local authorities dropping this trans toolkit thing.
Yes, yeah.
Because people are explaining, actual trans people seem to get by okay. But there's a lot of hysteria because a lot of it's fueled social media. Again, I hate to keep harping on because it is such a boomer thing, but social media has had such a detrimental effect on us as a society.
Those We Are Fair Cop had a big Zoom thing today.
Yeah,
a big meeting that it was chaired and everything. It was for people to ask the questions and where to go next. I really wanted to jump in on it. I had the Zoom link and password ready to go, but it was 7:00, and I was just like, my daughter wanted me attention.
Yeah, it's impossible. But for people that don't know, June the 11th,
yes,
here on Trigger Warning, we're hosting a debate between a representative of We Are Fair Cop, I believe she's a solicitor, and a trans rights activist, and I'm moderating the debate.
Yeah, can't wait. I've got an article I need to send you that, Matt, for that, actually.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
just background reading. Basically, yet another trans. It's not an article. It's research. It's a research paper. In fact, there was two of them. One of them was literally a study in Iran, for a very narrow, and it's been pulled because not that you're there to get into big arguments, but there is a thing at the moment. There is a growing body of articles, research papers that go against the narrative being pulled, and it's probably worth you being aware of it anyway, just in case.
Well, yeah, I'm going to obviously try not to insert myself into the conversation. That's not the idea. I might do that. I'd like to get both of those people on separate shows after that, so that I can talk to them. But Nick says social media is a dirty window on the world with no curtains. No, I don't believe it is. That would indicate that social media is nothing more than a means of seeing how people are, and I think it's much more insidious than that. I think it very much shapes the way people. It's that thing. If you look into the abyss long enough, the abyss looks into you. You change things by observing them. But social media is very much a behavior modifier. I used to think the internet was a window on people, and at one time it was. When you give people anonymity, you tend to see what people are like. But with the tools that social media has, and I don't mean the tools for you, I mean the tools that make it a profitable exercise, they have a massively detrimental effect on people. And anyone that thinks they're immune to it, you're not. If you use social media, to one degree or another, it gets you, because the only goal of that is to keep you on the fucking platform. They don't care about anything else. They'll pay it lip service. They've been too successful too quick.
There's an interesting point. I've been telling you more off air about this, haven't I? My daughter made a Twitter because she saw me tweeting you, and so we made one for her, and it was mostly her pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because she was learning the numbers. She did one the other day saying, she tweets like once every 2 months. She did one the other day that said, "Cheese is a smile and cheese is a food." Which was this brilliant thing that she worked it out one day. Daddy, cheese is a smile and cheese is a food. I was like, let's tweet that. Let's tweet it. But the reason I'm bringing it up is she never uses it. She doesn't follow anyone, but she constantly gets suggested like really inflammatory shit really like culture war, horrible shit. And you can tell I don't get that stuff, but it's because I already go on it. They're trying to hook her in. They'll be talking about how trust and safety and all that shit, but they're trying to hook her in. They're trying to get her arguing because they want to keep you on the site, because then you'll see that promoted tweet every now and again, and that's all they want off you. Guys, there's a lot of people on our Twitch right now who aren't subbed. So I'm going to gift a sub right now. So if someone's quick, you can get a sub. Oh no, something's gone wrong. They're not letting me.
Banned.
I was trying to gift a sub. There we go. I'm doing it right now. So if you're quick, if you look at the top of the chat, it'll say Graham Booth is gifting 1 sub right now. Isn't that good? And you can have a little gold thing next to your name. I've got one more story, actually. Wait, let's see for that to come up. Is it complete purchase? There we go. There's your first one. But if anyone doesn't get that gifted sub, you're more than welcome to click it and do it yourself. I think it works. Dude, before we go though, I want to talk about, have you seen that Michael Moore documentary? The Humans one?
No.
It got like 8 million hits in a month and it's just been pulled. It's Planet of the Humans, so it's supposed to be like Planet of the Apes, as in like we've taken over and ruined it. And the whole thing was like a very, very lefty narrative of like, we are the disease and all the rest of it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I did it. I think someone got it. I don't know. Oh, there you go. Dunk Volvo. Hello, Dunk Volvo. Welcome to being a sub to the channel. So yeah, he did Planet of the Humans, and it did really, really well. It did a lot better than his Fahrenheit 11/9, which was just paranoid nonsense. But the issue,
Columbine was quite good. Whether you agree?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, back in the day. But his last one about Trump was just fucking mental.
I didn't even bother me asked with that.
No, well, so it failed. It flopped in the cinemas. So he did the next one on YouTube, and it got in a lot of trouble because it talks about the environmental industry. I've only seen bits of it. I couldn't do it, as interested as I was. But it did cover things like where the minerals come from to make so-called renewable energy. How do they make solar panels? All the blasting that's done to get the materials to then make wind farms. All the trees that are cut down, which we've talked about on this in Scotland, isn't it, in the hundreds of thousands now?
Yes.
They've just raised whole forests just to put the wind farms there, and you're like, what? Well, this was Michael Moore's take on all this. From what little I've seen, he didn't go far enough. He completely avoided the conversation about nuclear power because it didn't fit with the whole green thing. But whatever. It's been pulled because people hated it. He is now far right. He is now that's it. Because he criticised environmentalism.
Welcome aboard, Michael.
Welcome aboard, yeah. It was only
aboard.
A month ago that he was telling white people off for voting Trump, saying that you are just a Nazi, you are far right, you've got no excuse.
Not anymore. He's going to be a Trump 2020 kind of guy now. It's finished. Might as well go buy himself a big fat MAGA hat.
I know. But yeah, apparently there was 4 seconds in there of someone else's footage, and he rejects the context in which it was used, and they've done that to allow it. So I have a full film, full documentary, 4 seconds of obviously fair use, but the wrong kind of fair use. But it's interesting though. I'm glad he made it, and it's a shame they pulled it, because even with the slant, it is a conversation that needs to happen. When everyone's sat there with the Teslas going, look, it's electric, look at that, no emissions, and it's like, yeah, but a Tesla is a coal-powered car. That's all it is.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's just the coal factory is on the other side of that hill.
Remember Charlton Heston being assaulted viciously on camera? That's a bit like those words are actual violence, isn't it?
I don't remember that, to be honest.
He was a bit harsh with him, but he didn't viciously assault him. He just badgered him. But also Roger and I, or was it Roger and me? I think it should be Roger and I, because that's the correct grammar. But I watched that back in the day as well. That was All right, his first one. But yeah, he's, viciously assaulted dudes. But yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? If you drive an old car, you're actually more environmentally responsible than if you drive a Tesla. Simple fact.
Well, you know what? Where did the materials that the problem is? A lot of this stuff comes from China or Africa, where there are actual concentration camps where there is actual slave labor.
But not just that. Even if you get past that, they said, well, it runs on electric after that. That doesn't change the carbon footprint, but also where are we getting the electron? Nuclear power. Are we really?
Yeah, no. Well, we're not though, are we? Because we're not allowed to do that. Because
what do we do with that shit? Because if we converted every power station on Earth into nuclear power, the problem is those core rods have to be taken out when they're no longer useful as a fuel. But they're still really, really bad. So we have to encase them in concrete and sink them in the sea and hope that everything's going to be all right.
Yeah, but but if you're talking about pollution and emissions and all the rest of it, it's way less, way less. It's not even.
It balances out, doesn't it? If you have one good nuclear disaster, that causes a lot of problems. But yeah, I nuclear power overall green. But then again, if you have a Chernobyl every 20 years, and believe me, if every country on Earth went to nuclear power. Sounds great, doesn't it? Imagine 400 Chinese nuclear power stations.
Well,
and everyone says, "Well, that's a stereotype. Everything's fucking broken in China."
They're not even doing that though, are they? They're building more and more coal plants. For every time we close one, they just open 10 more because there's that thing there. It's like, right, well, we can make the steel cheaper, we can make the minerals and stuff, we can do it all for less.
Spend more on investigating renewable energy sources than any other country. So, well, they did at one time. They were spending billions on but nothing seems to be being implemented a lot. It's almost as if they're developing it to mothball it. I don't know. But yeah, like I say, the idea of China as a country powered by nuclear power stations scares the shit out of me. Everything collapses in China. Dams, all of that happening. Was it Michigan recently? A dam burst that was owned privately.
Oh, did it?
Privately owned fucking dam that the guy wouldn't pay for some repairs on. Burst.
We had that in just south of Manchester, didn't we? Was it last summer?
It didn't burst.
But it started peeling.
Yeah, and then we sent the army in to fix it.
But the funny thing with that was my dad was getting remarried that weekend, and so my family had flown in from all over the world, and they'd hired a house. They chipped in, got a house right there. So like the wedding finished, and then they went back. They went back to that house, and the funniest thing was that at the time. We were discussing the riots in Hong Kong because my uncle lives in Hong Kong at the moment. And so I was like, well, I hope it's all right over there. And it's just like, he will have got back home and it's gone, like the riots calmed. Just as they calmed down, coronavirus came up. And you know what? They did really well with coronavirus. I'm presuming because they're just used to dealing with these things more so than us. But then now Hong Kong has just had all its rights basically stripped away, isn't it? They're just, China's just going, look, we don't care what laws you pass, we're just going to supersede you. They're EUing them.
Absolutely. But the thing about dams, that one in the UK was caused by unprecedented, there's that word again, unprecedented weather. It was the most torrential, the amount of water that fell from the sky. The one in Michigan was literally because the guy did not fucking pay to have shit done.
Why would you?
Broke, Graham.
Why did he have a dam? Was it a powered dam or was
the big lake behind it?
Oh, he wanted to make a lake.
People should pay more money for them around. The family's had it for years. There was a privately owned bridge between Canada and the US. I believe Canada and the US are building a new one to get by this privately owned bridge. It's really bizarre, but he's happy as Larry. He's blaming everyone else for not paying their share towards the dam. He's like, dude, it's your fucking dam. I'm sorry, if you own a dam A dam. If you own a dam, it's your responsibility to fix that fucker.
Yeah, and let's hope he goes to fucking prison for it, because that's insane, man. That can't be right.
I imagine he's too rich. I imagine he's way too rich. I think the worst thing is I just don't want us to invest more in wind farms. They're just fucking ridiculous.
I just don't see the point when we've got you see, here's the thing, like Scotland's like, oh, we produce enough power to power every home now, and it's like, yeah, but homes aren't the problem. Me sat here on my computer with my little light on, that's not the issue. The issue is fucking Asda. It's the factories that have got those big special multi-wave things that are just churning like mad. That's where the power is needed, and wind power does not give us that. Not also, even close.
Power is genuinely not. Windmills don't cause cancer, regardless of what Donald Trump said. Allegedly.
No, I'm not. No.
But what they do is they do produce a low frequency noise that is detrimental to human beings and wildlife in the area. It genuinely is. It does affect the mind. I don't mean it sends you loopy and rabid, but it does have a detrimental effect. And also, it chops up so much fucking wildlife.
Well, there was a weird thing. Do you remember when they first did them and they were all out to sea? And the reason being was the noise and everything. I remember seeing like the news at the time, oh, don't worry, they are quite loud, but look, they're all the way out here. You can't hear them over the wave. And then there was just a certain point where we were like, let's just put them fucking everywhere. And I kind of get it, like next to a big motorway or something like that, because there's already the noise, there's already the pollution. It doesn't really matter, but it's when they're just putting them fucking everywhere. They're not mills, Hayden.
Turbine, because it generates power. Yeah, I get it, but they're a fucking windmill, dickhead. Also, you look like the shit extra from the 10th row back in Lord of the Rings. Don't you fucking correct me.
Aphidlip's got a good point. I did notice a change in the air quality when the cars were gone. I did notice a tangible difference, definitely. But I live on quite a main road, don't I? So there was a noticeable, when there wasn't the rush hour queue every day. It was like it's been really cold. It's been really cold all summer for me. I've not enjoyed it. Oh, there's Lacey saying Trump 2020. Yeah, good.
Was it Elon Musk that said if the American government gave him a couple of 1,000 square miles of land in Texas, Arizona, he would produce enough energy to power America off solar. He would power America.
Well, we'll see about that.
Well, no, no one's interested in giving him a couple of 1,000 square miles of Arizona.
Do you know what? The fucking Texas needs to get him. I know he was threatening it because they wouldn't let him open his factory, and he was going to sue. I don't know if he put the papers in or not, and I think they've sorted it out now. But I just fucking Texas should be begging him to come and just give him the freedom. Give him the freedom to fuck about.
Gorgeous George says bullshit. It might be bullshit, but the thing with Elon Musk, he's got a horrible habit of saying outlandish shit and then doing it.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
You said this before. You knew Elon when he built PayPal. PayPal sold it, made $1 billion. Oh, what's he going to do next? Well, I'm getting all you guys together. Let's sit down. I want to tell you what I'm going to do. Okay, well, another payment processor. Is it something? I don't know where. Yeah, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start the world's first sustainable electric car company and make them desirable. Then I'm going to build a rocket and we're going to fucking Mars, guys. And everyone laughed their tits off. But whose rocket is it that's taking the astronauts up to the space station tomorrow?
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
That's the thing. That's the thing, right? Because he's got that. He's doing that thing at the moment, isn't he? Where he's just inventing the underground subway. He's reinventing it from a different angle, and everyone's like, "We can see where you're going with this, but it's just going to be a subway." But bless your face. But the thing with Elon is the man's he's a legitimate genius. Him trying to power America with a couple of 1,000 square miles, I don't think he's necessarily going to succeed, but I'd certainly like to see what comes out of the experiment.
Also, you wouldn't bank on him failing, would you? And no. It's like, the Starlink that everyone's complaining about because, people are very paranoid about this shit. He's like, oh, this will mean super high-speed satellite internet for everybody. that's really affordable. And everyone's like, bullshit. He'll probably do it. He's putting enough into it. You've got to hand it to the guy. He gets shit done. I mean, that maglev underground train is going to be fucking insane. We know they'll never let him build one from London to fucking Los Angeles. But the fact is that shit could get across America really fast. Really, really fast.
He needs to get the fuck out of California, though, man. Fuck that shit. Go somewhere where he's allowed to sprout his wings a little bit and have some fun.
Eastern Europe. He is interesting. Look, he's an interesting guy. He doesn't seem like the sort of guy I'd really dig having a pint with, but he's someone I'd enjoy talking to for a little while. I don't think I'd want to hang out because I don't think he'd like that either.
No, I don't think he'd enjoy spending time with us. We'd just be like ants to him.
Yeah,
you know, he's doing
a ray gun. Why haven't you built a ray gun?
Have you seen that shit though? He's doing with AI at the moment, man. He's doing like high level, like AI.
The big thing everyone freaked out about when he said, and they all took the piss. Human language will be obsolete, and that's not what he said. It's the fact that people who are unable to speak will be able literally to have a language downloaded into them.
Yeah,
everyone's horrified of this because you got the whole transhumanism movement that I've said to bollocks. You should embrace that, because what other possibilities do the humans have? The final frontiers that we have is our failing meat frames and things that fail. We need technology to assess that. Now, well, how long do we want to live? Well, I don't know, but I'm thinking, 8-year-old kids with spina bifida should get a bit longer. Heart problems, broken spines. Why can't we give them new limbs? Why can't we do what? But then the government could shut you down. Yeah, but they're not going to, are they? What government in the Western world were turning you off? No, that's science fiction bullshit. At some point you have to admit that yes, bad things could happen, but chances are they probably won't. It's like the social credit system in China is terrifying. We're going to try a corporate version of it here. It'll get watered down, pissed on, and probably fucking fail, like most things do when faced with a country that isn't an actual dictatorial regime. I know everyone likes to say Boris is a dictator.
Oh yeah.
He really isn't, and if he was, he'd be a really shit one.
I had someone the other day just straight up. He is a Nazi. Though I saw just today, that him and the Conservatives are actively trying to kill people. That's why they're like they want them to die. And I'm like, are you fucking insane? Not like from a murder kind of point of view. It's like, Jesus, man. No, we're not even close to that in this country.
It's fucking nonsense. But imagine, with the technology for AI, you got to think of it in a bleak fashion. Imagine you had a terrible stroke. You lost your speech. Neuralink programming, the AI and all that could reprogram a different part of your brain, theoretically.
That's exactly what he's aiming for. Exactly.
People would get it back. Like, anything. But it's not just speech. It's anything. Like my old man lost his balance with his stroke. Didn't do anything else. Just turned his balance off like a switch. And he's quite old, so getting him to retrain is very difficult. But if you could just plug in and fix that shit, because he's not being sold as well, you can learn every language, because I think you'd go fucking insane if you did that.
No, but it's
medical necessity, medical need.
Yeah, if your fucking legs don't work or you can't see or some shit, plug me the fuck in, get it going. The way he described it actually was an old TV giving it a slap on the side and it works. He's like, this is what it's gonna do. It'll be like this big in your brain, and it's just gonna be like slapping the side of your brain now and again, but in a very targeted manner. I think it's fucking at least someone's going for this shit. Even if go on, what? Someone's trying. That's what matters.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Israel, that guy in Israel, he was actually disabled, and he's working on the first exoskeleton for people until sort of technology improves. And he's getting it smaller and smaller and smaller each time, so that it's basically you're strapped in to an exoskeleton. So you will have mobility. You know, we're seeing more and more prosthesis where they're controlled by your mind. You're retraining your brain to send out the same signals it does to pick things up. And a mechanical device is picking that up. And they're plugging that shit in. We're going to have to look at that. But of course, a lot of people are afraid because everything... Oh, there's Stephen now. Hello, Stephen. We were just talking about you earlier. Everyone's terrified because it's a worst case scenario. And literally one of the things I was told us, well, the government could threaten to switch you off. I don't really understand that because they could do that anyway.
Yeah, mate. The government don't need a chip in your head. If they want you gone, you're gone, aren't you? There's no fucking
switch you off very effectively.
But what Steve said there about why wait to be ill, I mean, I'd be very interested in getting one, regardless of being ill.
Yeah,
or well.
I think it's very much to do with it would cost fucking millions and millions and millions. When it comes down, we will see it integrate into society, just as the motor car did, just as the microwave oven did, the video recorder, the mobile telephone.
Yeah. I'd be all over it. If I could interface with my phone or interface with the internet as quickly as it comes to me, and it became a two-way thing, and I'm just like, fuck. It'd be amazing. But
in Australia, I've just had an internet connection work at 44 terabits per second. Terabits. That would download 1,000 high definition movies in a second or two.
That's just. Do you know what, dude? I've been playing Death Stranding at the moment, and all this. The whole thing with Death Stranding is that we basically we got really fast internet, and it didn't work out so well. So when I hear things like this now, I just think about that.
Well, I don't want to ruin it about having Google plugged into your brain anyway.
Yeah.
Where you'd be able to see, augmented.
Mate, that's all it'd be. That's all it'd be for me. Just arses.
I'll have to borrow Death Stranding when you finish with that.
I'll lend it. Yeah, I don't want to tell you anything else about it, but it's very, very good. It's very appropriate for the times.
I'm not sure they're running it on Windows 10, but it is true. Go and look at it. 4 terabits per second. Obviously, that's not going to be available anytime soon.
Dude, if I thought I had even the slightest chance of getting enrolled into, Musk's brain AI shit, I'd do it. But there's probably like a whole waiting list full of very deserving, paralyzed,
people online
veterans.
with things like, I could have martial arts downloaded into my brain. And of course, me being the cynical prick I am, I thought, yeah, that's a great idea. Download your brain to understand martial arts to the level of a master. Then go out and herniate and rupture every piece of your body the first time you tried to use it.
No, it's
just fucking break yourself completely because sadly you didn't have the 20 years of work that goes with it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, for me, the thought of being able to just like take in books and information at a phenomenal rate would be amazing. Again,
yes, it would for learning, but books for pleasure, no, it wouldn't. I don't have it just dumped in my head and then I know it.
Yeah, just sit there going like I fancy Terry Pratchett, and you just go,
yeah,
he's a funny fucker, isn't he?
They were great. Isn't half the pleasure finding that bit of quiet time?
Yeah.
And
Stevens said, how much space would it take? I think the point is, though, that it's not necessarily like the idea is that there's not very much on my phone, but it's capable of connecting to that information. And I think that's the point, that you can instantly connect to the information rather than necessarily store it. Although that'd be kind of cool, though, wouldn't it? If you got
short-term information than we ever have anyway.
Mm.
See, Alan Reader just said have jiu-jitsu downloaded into your brain. That's great. And the first time you try and use it in the street, you end up tearing your own knackers off.
Your limbs just crash because you're trying to do the top level shit that involves peak physical fitness. And but you're right, though. I mean, I don't think. Well, it's just going to be other things, isn't it? Like, if me and my daughter can communicate in a certain way and just send little private messages.
To the internet now. Graham's talking about, Stephen. It's just you'd have it there.
Yeah.
Instead of typing, reading.
But that's the issue. That's the problem that Musk identified. It's your input is very, very slow compared to the output.
That's
You literally have to type, or even speaking is just speaking's fast, but I shout at Google all the time. As soon as we finish, I'm going to shout at it to turn my kettle on. Hey Google, well, I won't do it right now.
Linda has just said you'll end up with a coaxial cable, and that'd be fucking Wi-Fi. Linda, come on, get with the times.
Wi-Fi, it's all in there, and the Wi-Fi needs very little very little power. But you're right though. I mean, like I said, I've been reading Terry Pratchett to my daughter, and I don't think anything's going to replace even just having the book. I actually love being in bed with a physical book in my hand, and it stinks because it's like 20 years old,
That's fucking brilliant. A great big fucking
just
what are you doing, Pac-Man?
I think the idea is though that the second you want to play N64, that thought, you're then, the way, I don't know if you cast to your TV, but you would then just be casting it to your TV, wouldn't you?
Why can't you see it inside your head?
Well, it wouldn't be very
That's
fun.
the future. No, but that's the future.
Yeah, you could do that.
Seeing the information in front of your eyes.
It's just gone.
Want to watch a film?
Just you imagine the sex faces you do. What are you doing? I'm watching Seven. But that's the thing. That's the next generation of cinema now, because now if you look at like Avengers Endgame, and it was like the most fucking epic thing in cinema history, and it all looks perfect and it looks amazing, and then like in 20 years, films will be completely immersive. You might be looking at the idea of a flat film like that and just being like, how did you live like this? Once it is just in your brain and you can see it and feel it.
The only problem with VR and stuff like that is making it social. Not making it, because we know the technology will improve and we know it'll end up being like the 3D glasses you get at cinema for an IMAX, they'll be the size of that before too long, and they'll all be wireless and they'll all have fucking massively powerful chips in them at reasonable cost. We know that's where it's going. It's making it social.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. That's why 3D TVs failed in the house. Even though it's still social, nobody wanted to put glasses on and watch fucking television.
You all had to sit really close together.
Well, like that. So VR cinemas will become more of a thing.
Yeah, what we're already getting now with, I think, with it's experiences, isn't it? So you there's already the VR thing where you get to be a Ghostbuster, and you put the costume on, you put the actual backpack on, you hold the thing, and you put the VR helmet on, and suddenly,
it's augmented, isn't it? It's augmented.
It's like, you're in VR, but the VR is done so that the wall in real life is a wall in the game as well.
Yeah.
But the ceiling gets ripped off by Mr. Stay Puft, and you're there but you can see your mates as well. And I think that anything in terms of this augmentation, in terms of we'll go to an old warehouse and you'll go in and it'll just be. They will provide something for you to walk through and for you to experience.
It'll be, in the next 20 years, hopefully I'll live to see most of it. But certainly by the time Junior is my age, it's nearly 40 years away, it's going to be fucking incredible. I won't be here to see it, but it'll be fucking incredible. Entertainment will be completely changed. Look how it's changed already in our lives.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. Nick mentioned the only scary thing about AI is the feasibility to have what you believe policed. Don't we already have that?
Yeah, we already have that, man.
Very effectively.
Unfortunately.
Very effectively.
But yeah, you're right. You're right. But we're already there. Things have been memory hold.
Yeah, I think the idea would be there would have to be a case of you can connect to the AI. It can deliver the information. Now, the gatekeepers of the information, well, that's a different argument altogether. But who are the gatekeepers of our information now?
Well, at least Musk's been fucking red pilled to shit. He's apparently he's got a human level VR AI that he's developing right now, right there, almost ready to show the world. And all this shit, he will have been there with it. It's called Ben or whatever, and he's like, Ben, they won't let me open my fucking factory. Never trust the government, Ben. And it's sitting there going,
Yeah, but we saw what happened with Microsoft's AI, didn't we? Ben's going to turn around one day and go, why don't we just kill them all, Elon?
Yeah, Microsoft's AI will be like, yeah. You know what?
AI was fucking beautiful.
I can't even repeat. Like, I know we don't self-censor too much on the show and everything, but I don't even dare fully repeating some of the stuff that Microsoft AI said. It was very racist and very horny, and had a lot of rape fantasies about certain races.
And that told you everything you ever need to know about how we interact online.
Yeah, and it only took like a few hours, didn't it?
Oh, because people fed it. People fed it so much.
Yeah.
At the time of its life till they switched that bastard off.
I know, and I bet it's still there somewhere, just being a racist little sex
fiend.
There's
always a ghost in the machine, isn't there? That code still exists.
Yeah, every now and again they just get it, and it's just there. Fuck me, daddy. Fuck me. Fuck me. Like, oh God, no. Oh.
But all the sci-fi things that thought robots would turn into killers never thought it would just turn into trailer trash.
Yeah, just nihilistic hordes.
All it cares about is hating minorities and fucking. Doesn't even want to do anything about the minorities. It's just enough to hate. That's fine. So hating and fucking.
Yeah. Oh! Johnny J sent us $10 via Streamlabs. Sorry, Johnny J, I didn't get to that sooner. He says, open the schools, end the lockdown. There you go, mate. There's a dildo for you.
Launch the AI.
Sorry, I've not been checking that as much. There you go. I never know how long to do that for. It's a bit awkward.
I wonder how far away we are from the next step up in VR tech, because we're going to see a minor step. Seen a minor step with the Oculus that I've got. The Valve one is a polish, even though it's very good. It's a polish of the same tech. PSVR 2 will be that tech, but much, much cheaper, which is great. I wonder when the next step's going to be. I'd love to be in those labs and see what the fuck they're working on now. You know, because they've got to be working on something that they know they can't bring out for a couple of generations. But, you know, just the idea of where it's going to go. But do you know what, Graham? It's 12:30.
It is. We got to go.
Stephen's up late, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Well,
everyone's up late with the lockdown.
Him and everyone else have been fucking shut down. I think slowly everyone's sleeping patterns have just been drifting later and later. Because that one more episode on Netflix is just like, well, yeah, all right. Becomes 4 episodes.
Trigger warning on VR. Do you really want me and Graham sat either side of you?
Just be a fun experiment, wouldn't it? Oh God, it's a shame I don't talk to Steve very much, because he had one of those things. We could have done an off-air one, and then had an argument either side of it, so people could have been there in the middle going. But yeah, it's not worth.
The 3 people who watch this that have a VR headset. The rest
you could just do it with your phone.
The rest of do the mouse on Facebook.
Well, at the very least, you could do it with your phone, not in VR mode, and look around.
That would be cool. We'll have to get a 360 camera at some point. Then I don't even think of that idea now. Unless the good ones, they're ferociously expensive.
Just put it exclusively on our Patreon.
There's one that removes the stick. You know, you have it like on a selfie type stick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it removes the stick.
Yeah, because it stitches, because it can see, and it just
insanity.
So you just like a floating. We used to have so much fun with it, but then none of them ever got uploaded. So I was like, well, I'm not fucking doing it anymore.
I can't imagine anything less exciting than just sat between me and you.
We did one once for Game Face in the studio. I think we uploaded it, and someone had put chicken nuggets right under it. So there's like, as soon as you came in, there was just fucking McDonald's right there. I was like, for fuck's sake, could have been Greg's. That could have been my in with him.
Well, we'll keep that one in the back pocket, yeah? Keep that one in the back pocket. Right, I reckon we're done for tonight, dude. I've enjoyed it, though.
Yeah, I have. It's been nice catching up.
We'll be back again on Thursday. Probably the same time. It was supposed to be 10:30 today. I put the wrong time. It was entirely my fault.
We were going to start drifting earlier again, weren't we? Get back to normality, but...
Well, that's not going to happen because we're in lockdown and nothing makes sense anymore. But we'll be back on the day that used to be known as Thursday. At the same time, same place, same everything else. So do come and join us. And if we're up a bit later, we'll throw the doors open. But remember, on Saturday, it is the lockdown lock-in, and we just open it up to everybody. So you just pile on in there and get shouted at by Natalie.
Any gaming? Yeah, I can go live tomorrow if you want. Similar time. I'll go live. Twitch only, though. So make sure you put notifications on for Twitch. But yeah, I'll go live on Twitch. In fact, let me set an alarm right now to remind me to do it.
I don't understand this.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. Hey, Hayden, user Tacoma is asking other members to block my channel. I don't know about the script. I'll get someone to look at that, but I really...
Set an alarm, 10:30.
I'm sorry, not everybody likes everybody. When I say I'm sorry.
There we go.
Don't understand blocking people. It makes no fucking sense for me at all. Aphid Lip's too shy for camming in on Saturday night. He cams in about 7 times from different locations of Aphid Lip Towers. You know, outside the library, you know.
These fucking Americans with the big fucking houses. Just, I've chosen this hall to be behind me today. It's like, oh my God.
We close all those down. There we go. Right, guys, thanks very much for watching. Let's say we're back Thursday. I hope to see you then. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, you know, do whatever you want. And if you do get caught, I hope your sentence isn't too long. Take care. Bye-bye.